May God's peace, mercy, and blessings be upon you. My name is Muhammad. New video and new story. But before starting, do not forget to pray for the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. Let's begin. Today's story is The Hale Girl and the Loving Genie. The events of this story revolve around a poor young woman who lives with her elderly father in the city of Hale in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The girl was taking care of her father and taking care of him, as her mother was not alive. This girl's life was going normally and without any problems until something happened that was never expected. He loved this girl, one of the sons of the jinn. He began to pressure her until she wore it. The girl was feeling unwell. She was seeing scary and strange things in her dreams. The poor girl was seeing in her dreams that she was married to a jinn, or that there was a jinn trapping her. This girl's behavior began to change at home, of course. Her father noticed his daughter's change and felt that there was something wrong with her. Because the girl's father was old, he knew that what had befallen his daughter was not something normal, but that it might be possessed by the jinn. The father banned a cleric for reading the Quran to his daughter. The girl's father thought he was right. As soon as the cleric began reading verses from the Holy Quran, the girl started screaming, and then the girl spoke in the language of the genie. The genie was menacing and threatening anyone who would approach this girl. The cleric did not stop reading the Quran despite what is happening. The genie was not able to stay in this girl's body for long, so he decided to leave her, but his exit was only for a temporary period. The genie promised the cleric and the girl's father that he would not leave her, and that he would return for revenge. On that day, the genie left the girl's body and the girl returned to her normal self, but what had happened the next day was so frightening that no one expected it. Suddenly, while the girl was sleeping in her room, the windows began to shake violently and the doors almost came out of the wall. Also, the curtains began to fall along with the house's belongings, as if there was an earthquake hitting this house. The father quickly headed to his daughter's room. At first, the father thought that there had actually been an earthquake that had struck the city of Hale. But when the father arrived at his daughter's room, the surprise was his daughter was not present in the room. The poor father then learned that his only daughter had been kidnapped by the genie. The father informed the police of what had happened and they began searching for the girl throughout the city. After several days of searching, one of the policemen found a girl lying on the side of the road. The policeman went to the girl and she was the same girl that her father was searching for everywhere but did not find her. The girl was in a very bad condition and her clothes were torn. From the appearance of her clothes, the policeman thought that this girl had indeed been raped. The girl began to speak words that the officer could not hear. The officer approached the girl and heard her saying, "Water, water, I want water." The policeman quickly returned to his car to bring water, but when he returned for the girl, she had disappeared. This happened near the mountains of Hale. The governor of the city offered a reward of 4 million reals to whoever find this girl. The search continued for a long time for this girl, but to this day no one has been able to find her or see her again either. Here, dear followers of horror stories, we have reached the conclusion of our story for today. The story of the Hale girl and the Jinn lover, which is a true story whose events take place in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. We should all know that anyone in this world is vulnerable to being touched by the Jinn. But if you want to protect yourself, you must pay attention to the teachings of our Islamic religion, which protects us from exposure to any harm, whatever it may be. Regular reading of the Quran, prayer and other good deeds will protect us, in addition to paying attention to reading the morning and evening remembrances on an ongoing basis, as this fortifies the Muslim and protects him from exposure to any harm. For God, only God Almighty is the protector, and He is the one who protects us from any harm that may befall us. We hope that you liked this story and wait for more frightening and true horror stories through our channel. Today's story has ended. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to pray for the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share your opinions in the comments.